instead of an amenity analysis that in the past you see where there's so many softball fields, so many basketball courts. We don't really focus on that this year. The focus is actually on an overall access to the park system. The first way we do that is through a park equity analysis to determine where the needs lie. The park equity analysis starts with determining where there are high concentrations of children under 16, populations below poverty level, high population density, and low access to public parks. As you would expect, our highest needs are within the urban growth area. There is a map within the plan that shows you the different need areas throughout the county. Park proximity is the second part of that analysis, then that gives you an indication of whether or not the parks are located in a vicinity where they are needed based upon that park equity. In our case, you'll notice in the plan that we actually are doing pretty well at locating our parks in the areas where there's the highest need. That's also due to the fact that we partner with our local communities, the city of Hagerstown, and all of our municipalities with parks funding, and that helps them build their park systems as well. Another new part to this new plan is the fact that we did a survey. Surveys were required to measure user demand throughout the county. This was also a recommendation from our last plan, acknowledging that we needed more data to do a better planning job. So in 2016, a survey was posted to the county website. We received 435 responses to that survey. There were questions that dealt mostly with our parks and recreation facilities. There is also a copy of the results of that within the parks plan in the appendices. The third major thing that changed from the last plan is that review switched from Maryland Department of Planning to the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, so that the comments that you have received in your packet today are actually from the Maryland Department of Natural Resources. Notice of this meeting was published in a local newspaper. Notices were also sent out to the municipalities and local stakeholders. Concurrence has been received from the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board as well as the Planning Commission. I have nothing else on this issue if you want to go ahead and open that up to public comment. Thank you.
Okay, we will now open the hearing for public comment. Anyone wishing to testify will have to please come forward. We have anyone here today care to participate or testify? Okay, commissioners, any comments, questions? Public hearing is now concluded. Last chance for commissioner comments.
We would just remind you that we are here today for comment. We are not here seeking any kind of motion. What will happen is any comments that we have received through the end of the public hearing and any comments that we receive from you right now will be incorporated into the document, and we will bring that back to you later for formal adoption. We are moving through an aggressive schedule on this so that our project open space funding for this year is not jeopardized.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You need approval of the March 27th, 2018 minutes.
So moved.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0. We need the approval for the April 3rd, 2018 minutes.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstained? We have 4-0, one abstention. Reports from county staff. We have any staff here in the chambers that care to provide a comment? Okay, haven't got to the attorney issues yet. We'll do that now.
All right, Commissioners, there was a requested rezoning in case RZ 17-004. The property owners were Bluegrass Commercial and Michael and Kelly Scott. It concerns property located on the northwest side of Leitersburg Pike, west of Leitersburg. It includes parcels 131, 173, and 174. The requested rezoning was from rural village to rural business floating zone. There was a public hearing on the matter. The Planning Commission recommended approval. After the public hearing, the commissioners came to a consensus to approve the requested reclassification and at this time, the final documents have been prepared, which will effectuate that reclassification. So it's appropriate at this time to adopt an ordinance to amend the zoning map for Washington County, Maryland concerning RZ-17-004, and to adopt the decision and findings of fact in support of that reclassification.
Okay, motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second? Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? There were a couple of issues, we had a couple of citizens come in and provide some
I think when the commissioners had a discussion and came to their consensus, it was concluded that many of those issues would be addressed at the site plan process.
Okay, so any further discussion?
They have cleaned up out there. Looks much better. I've been out by there.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, 5-0.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, any other staff reports, boards and commissions?
Commissioners, the Hagerstown Eastern Panhandle Metropolitan Planning Organization, known as MPO, as you know, lost a member to their municipality representative. You had mentioned Mayor Lord, however, he found he could not serve. So the mayor of Williamsport, Mr. Green, has volunteered to serve if you agree, and we would appoint him to a 2-year term from April 30th, 2020.
Motion is second for that approval. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, 5-0. Rob, you have any reports, or you could, I'm sorry, another board? Okay, we have another board appointment.
Okay, we are to supply members to the C&O Canal. We get the proper name. Yes, the C&O Canal National Historical Park, and they have, as you know, reconstituted their advisory board. Mr. Frank serves. He was nominated by you. They have another opening, and we have an applicant who is Michael Barnhart. I understand he's very versed in the tourism and the battlefield, and so, yes. Got a very good history. What we would do is send a letter to the parks and recommend his name and see if he's appointed. So that would be from your letterhead if agreed.
So we need a motion for that,
So moved.
Consensus is fine.
or consensus?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
we're fine. Okay, any other reports? Okay, Rob, if you have a report you care to providing it, you want to provide it this afternoon? Okay. Commissioners' reports, we'll do those this afternoon if need be. And now we're going to move down to citizens' participation. We have any citizens here today care to participate? Last chance for citizens' participation. That's up to you. That's up to you. You're the citizen. Okay. And your name, sir? Okay, in citizens' participation, let's move to National Public Safety Telecommunication Communicators Week, April 8th through to 14th. And we do have a proclamation. Who would care to make some remarks about the telecommunicators week? Okay, Mr. Hart. Oh, Mr. Hayes. Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's go to intergovernmental cooperative purchase, personal protective equipment. He has to wait now. We'll come back to you. We'll get this intergovernmental cooperative purchase out of the way.
Jeez.
Good morning, Director Purchasing Rick Curry.
Mr. Hart, I believe, is up here also. Sorry, Mr. Hayes, that's what happens when you take a break. Everything just goes to break. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all today?
Before you is intergovernmental cooperative purchase for personal protective equipment for the Division of Emergency Services. The recommended motion is to move authorization by resolution, the approval of the purchase of 50 sets of personal protective equipment, which would consist of coats and pants for Division of Emergency Service from Whitmire Public Safety Group Incorporated of Williamsport, Maryland, at a contracted unit price totaling $99,165, based on a contract awarded by the state of New Jersey. Section 106.3 of the Public Code of Local Laws allows the board to enter into a contract for services and goods that are procured by another jurisdiction. The cost savings would be that we would not have to entertain a bid and go through the bidding process and do the solicitation. Funding will come out of the department's operating budget as listed in the ARF. We have concurrence of the division director. We have a chief financial officer for fiscal impact only. Also, along with the ARF, there's a quote from the state of New Jersey's contract with a 45% discount and a quote from Whitmire's Public Safety Group. Are there any questions?
Okay, any questions, commissioners? If none, need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, a second, for the approval of the recommended motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to our National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, which is April 8th through the 14th. And let's see, Mr. Hayes is here. I didn't know if he wanted to make a few comments before we made the presented the proclamation. How are you this morning?
Good morning. We're here to recognize our emergency communications technicians for National Telecommunicators Week, which, as President Baker had stated, is April 8th through the 14th, which is the week we're in. We have our Communications Assistant Director, Bardonna Woods, our Professional Services Administrator, Jennifer Swisher, our CAD IT Administrator, Jason Klein, and our part-time and one of our newest technicians, Kelsey Klein, who is also the daughter of the county administrator's executive assistant. So we're happy to have them here and have their faces recognized for the job that they do. And just to give you a real quick snapshot of what they do, the 911 Center handles over 90,000 emergency requests for assistance each year and almost 300,000 emergency and non-emergency telephone calls in and out of that center. They're the primary answering point for all emergency services in Washington County. That would include police, fire, and EMS, including the city of Hagerstown. And they dispatch for the city of Hagerstown Police Department, the Washington County Sheriff's Department, and the Hagerstown and County Fire and EMS agencies. So we have a staff of 42 full-time employees augmented by about 13 part-time staff at any given time. They staff the center 365 days a year, 24 hours each day. And I'm proud to say that through all kinds of weather events, severe weather events, that they show up for work and they make sure the citizens of Washington County are taken care of. So I'm proud to serve with this group, and just know that behind this group there's a whole host of other folks that couldn't be here today because of work obligations, both internally and externally. But nonetheless, they're all equally important, and we appreciate the opportunity to come here for the commissioners today.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Very well said. And thanks for everything you all do every day of the year, and keep up the great work. Okay. So with that, we do have a proclamation to present. Before that, any of the other commissioners have any comments or thing they'd like to add?
It's our pleasure.
Okay. I don't know if I can hold a mic and talk. No, I'll be all right. Okay, as we said, this is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 8th through the 14th. And whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone into the Washington County Communication Center. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Maryland, hereby proclaim April 8th through the 14th, 2018 as National Public Telecommunicators Week in Washington County. Again, congratulations. Thank you all for everything you do all the time. So just keep us safe.
That's a C Klein coming out there, I guess.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Great, thank you.
Okay, it looks like we depart. I don't think I missed anything. We'll depart for the museum, and we should return. We'll start back at 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Then he goes,